Ayy, give me the chip, I need the championship. Wait, we got a dream, next to the team, yeah, we can handle it. Wait, soon as I go and I step in arenas, they call me the champ. They know what it is, know what I do, know who I am, who don't understand? Yeah, that's overdue. My trophy say that's overdue. My ring, should be immortalized. Yeah, they know it's true. They couldn't walk a mile.
Hey, how you doing, folks? Chris Harris here. Another episode of Buck Sweet Sports Podcast. I know it's been a little while, man. Took a little hiatus. You know how that goes: life, family, et cetera. But we're back here. The first official day of the 2005 football season. Got a lot of changes going on. Like I say, with a new season, we got a lot of changes. First off. Let me introduce. If you don't know him already, our new co-host. We got Mr. Anthony Goodman with us this evening. Hey, Anthony, man,
Blessings,
appreciate you
blessings.
joining us.
Man, I appreciate being here, man. We had talked about this thing for a minute.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and I would like, kind of behind the scenes, feed you what I can feed you and whatnot. And now being here at an official capacity, I'm very grateful to be here. I want to express my love to the community, all the congratulations that I received from the community. It's like, man, it's about time. I'm glad to see that y'all linked up, y'all joining forces. I want to appreciate the community first and foremost for all the thanks and congratulations they gave me. That meant a lot. And I hope that we serve our purpose and bring highlights to our local students that deserve it.
yes sir, yes sir. Well, man, definitely. Like you said, we've been talking behind the scenes for a minute, man. So glad to bring you on part of the team, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a good year. With that being said, man, like I said, it's been a lot of changes. So unfortunately, Coach Brandon Maynard and Brandon Blackwell won't be back with us this season, but we appreciate all their contributions to BuzzFeed Sports Podcast and wish them well in whatever their endeavors. And we'll definitely probably be speaking with Coach Maynard in the future about what's going on out there at Union. Uh, but like I said, man, it's been a while. So for the new folks here, one thing we like to do here, please feel free to comment. Please like, share, follow the page, share the videos. We like to engage with the audience. So, yeah, please, if you have any questions, anything we're talking about you want to comment on, we'll definitely be, paying attention to the chat and shouting y'all out and engaging with y'all. That's, one of the things we really like to do here. Also, man,
Thanks.
real quick, want to be totally transparent with all my, all the listeners and stuff, and everyone who's followed us for a long time. Recently, I accepted a new position that's going to require me to do quite a bit of travel. So there's going to be there possibly be some logistic issues. Um, like I said, I'm gonna be like 9 hours ahead of everybody else. So it's gonna be some stuff we're gonna have to work out. But definitely going to continue to, you know, when we'll get to that bridge, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But definitely going to continue to try to, um, you know, work with these guys here and maintain this because this is something I know a lot of people enjoy. We don't want to, we don't want to stop doing what we're doing. So we'll work it out. But like I said, man, it's a big step up for me and. Um, I'm just blessed to be able to have an opportunity to really, you know, do some things that's gonna, really help my family make some. We got some big moves we want to make, so this is definitely gonna help out. But like I said, it's gonna be some challenges. There's gonna be some challenges logistically, but we'll work it out. Uh, but like I said, man, I wanted to apologize for the hiatus, man. But I've been trying to keep everybody engaged with, with our player spotlights. We were able to really show a lot of kids love throughout the East, a lot of different schools. Um, with that being said, man, one thing I was thinking about in let's see, well, I guess we lost Anthony for a second. He'll be back. He'll be right back. One thing I was thinking about doing, man. Eventually, the goal was to you know build this up to the point where we are covering basically the entire eastern part of North Carolina. Um, I know. Right now, we're mainly got our main schools that we cover, but um, it's getting a lot of more attention, and a lot of people are really liking it. And I know people are questioning, can you cover us? Can you cover us? And one of the things we're thinking about doing is kind of branching out, maybe possibly doing the whole East, but of course, definitely gonna need some help on that if we do
for
something
sure.
like that. Because I mean, it's still a big area, man. And one thing, like I said, I was doing those player spotlights, and I was helping out a coach from Wilmington, doing a lot of his guys out there, Hoggard and New Hanover and stuff. And we got a bunch of Wilmington people that came, started following the page, and of course, I got a guy. A really popular guy on NC Preps who's a big time Northeastern fan. He's been, clamoring for coverage up there in the northeastern part of the state. So a lot of people want coverage, man. So it's one of the things we'll think about doing. Not sure we'll get to it this season. We'll try our best. But anything big in the eastern part of North Carolina, we definitely want to address it, talk about it, and bring in some coverage. But just a couple things that's been rattling around in my head, and but I mean, if that's something you guys like to see, man, let me know in the comments. Or if you want us just to keep it, Sampson, Duplin, Bladen County, surrounding areas, just let me know. Like I said, I want to get the follow it, man. You guys follow us, you guys support us. I want to give you guys what y'all, what you want. Oh man, but Anthony, man, first, so right now, a lot of teams, probably right there on the practice field, first official day of
Yeah,
practice.
yeah,
Um, Everyone knows, most of these teams. Yeah, today may be the first official day, but man, a lot of these teams been busting their
they've
butts
been
since these
working.
guys been busting their butts since December. Throughout the
Yes, sir.
spring, summer, whatever. The canteen camps, 707s,
Oh yeah,
individual conditioning, weightlifting, or whatever. So these guys been working for months now, man. And yeah, today's the first official day, but it's football season's finally here. We're literally a week away from teams mixing up in scrimmages. So
yes, sir.
really excited time. I don't know about you, man, but I'm really
Yes,
excited. How
sir.
you feeling?
Look, man, I'm super stoked. A lot of these kids that are about to be seniors this year, I remember their freshman year. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? I remember them coming in, and this is their senior year now. It's been a pleasure to see some of their growth. It's been a pleasure to see some of the middle schoolers who are coming in and jumping straight to varsity. I'm hearing that Union might have a JV team this year, which is going to
oh,
give the
that's awesome.
JV schedule, yeah, even more deeper schedule. You know what I mean? I'm excited, bro. I'm super excited. I can't wait to hear them pads talk. I can't
Yes,
wait
sir.
to see. You know what I mean? I can't wait to hear them pads talk. You know that first. Ooh,
Oh yeah.
that's when you know football season is back in full effect. But one shout out that I want to give is to some of the seniors that were leading. You know how they go through their dead period when they can't practice, but that just means they can't practice with the coaches. You can't have organized practices during dead period. But I've seen a lot of seniors take some of the underclassmen that are in their position group and take them out there to a gym like 24/7 or a gridiron or even just a week's park or something like that, and they're building their strengthening and their conditioning amongst themselves. They're not just working on their craft while they're at practice, they're working on their craft outside of practice, and that's what changes you as an athlete. It's about the work that you do outside of your coach's eyes and outside of the audience. Is what you're doing, holding yourself and holding your teammates accountable and doing that work behind the scenes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 100% correct, man. They that's awesome to hear. Uh, Great news about Union, man. Those coaches have done an awesome job out there, actually, building that program, basically building it back up from scratch. So, man, shout out to Coach Mark Oates and his
Big
entire
shout out,
staff.
Coach Oates.
One of the things you mentioned, man, like how fast this stuff has come, man. You talked about some of the kids from middle school and kids you knew when they were freshmen, they're seniors now. I was looking at a post the other day, and man, it's a old coworker from mine when I worked at the prison. Man, his son. I remember it seemed like yesterday we were talking about his son, going through the rec program in Clinton and stuff, and You know, him going out there to the practices, the game. I watched went out there with him a couple times, watched him play. And man, he's a junior now. He's a one of the team captains for Clan High School, and just seeing that the other day, man, I was just like, man, man, your boy feeling a little bit old right now, man. I don't know where time went, man. That's crazy. But one thing I want to say for parents out there, and I'm sure you could relate, man. Like, especially if you got a senior, man. Put the phone down for a second while you're at the game, man, and just sit back and
Be in
enjoy
the
it,
moment.
because it flies by, man. We're here in July right now talking about the first day of practice, but I mean, snap of your fingers, we're gonna be in December, and we're gonna be talking about state championship matchups and what
Mhm.
have you, man. It goes by so quick. So parents and senior athletes, man, like just take it all in, man. Enjoy it.
Yes.
Enjoy your time with your teammates. Enjoy your time with your coaches, man. This is, all of us. Everybody's not gonna go on to play at the next level. So, but a lot of y'all, man, this is it, man. So just sit back, relax, enjoy it, because you're gonna look back on this, 10, 15, 20 years from now, and you're just it's gonna be some of the best times of your life, man. So just relax, take it in, enjoy it. 'Cause this is it. This is it right here, man. Like I said, football season every year, man. We it's like Christmas. You're looking forward to it all year, and just like that, it's gone. So,
Thanks. Now I
but
want to make sure too. Let's send this message out that and this goes back to the kids that's doing the strengthening and conditioning outside of practice. Take care of your body, man.
oh
Take
yeah,
care of your body, because I can't tell you. I've seen over the past couple seasons a kid that has waited his whole 4 years for that senior year, had college dreams and aspirations and whatnot, and go down with an ACL, go down with a torn labrum or torn shoulder or something like that. Um, Make sure you are conditioning and strengthening your joints, and you working on your recovery. And that don't mean just recovery when you getting hurt. Like take an Epsom salt bath when your muscles starting to get sore. Stretch vigorously. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
Don't just go out there and think you're gonna go 0 to 100 just because you're athletic gifted and you ain't gonna face no repercussions, man. That's the quickest way to face an injury. And I pray that we go through a healthy season for all teams that we cover. I hope that
oh yeah,
nobody suffers no season-ending injuries, especially these seniors coming up, because, like you said, this is the last dance, and you would hate to see it end on such a sour note. So
oh yeah.
please, y'all, take care of y'all bodies by all means necessary.
Yes, sir. Definitely agree with you there, man. Real quick, man. Let me shout out the chat. Normally, like I said, man, this technology be killing me. Normally, it shows up on my screen. I got to look at it on my phone. It's always something different out here, man. But shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Ryan Sutherland, big time East Duplin radio broadcast team, man. He's always been a big time supporter. Him and Mr. Gino Kimby out there, East Duplin. Those guys do a great job
Mm-hmm.
doing their play by play. So if you're an East Duplin fan and you can't make it to the game on Friday nights, definitely tune into those guys. They do an awesome job. Shout out to Mr. Kelvin Stevens.
Coach Stevens.
Shout out to Cheryl Baker, Marlboro County. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about our South Carolina coverage, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So shout out Miss Cheryl Baker's representing Marlboro County. And everyone else is watching, man. Like I said, feel free to comment. Shout out your school, or shout out your student athlete. Like I said, we love engaging with the chat. So any questions, any comments y'all have, feel free. Normally it shows up on my screen. I gotta look at it on my phone. So we're doing a little. It's a little. It's always something out here, but I'm gonna definitely shout y'all out. So real quick, like Cheryl Baker, Marlboro County, we are looking for someone in that area to help us out, man. Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty, cool on North Carolina. You know how we do things, but there's still some question marks about South Carolina. They got a little different rule set, different way they
They
do things
definitely
down
do.
there. So
It's a
would
little
love for
different out there.
somebody, would love somebody from Marlboro County, that area, to to join us and help us out and kind of give us a little bit more insights on there. I do cover Marlboro County. Like I said, Corey Johnson, Ryan Hunt, they were really a big help to help me get this platform off the ground. when I
Hmm.
first got started. So just one of the things I do for them is I continue. They ask me to to continue to cover them. So that's what I'm doing for them. So they're our only South Carolina team. We may in the future add another one, kind of balance things out. But if anybody had any questions about why we cover Marlboro County, that's why we do it. So shout out to Corey Johnson, all his people down there. Looking forward to covering them this year. Um, let's see. You know what? Matter of fact, Anthony Berry, man, I was thinking about you, man. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely hit you up, man, because like I said, we need somebody that's really knowledgeable in that area, so to kind of help us out. So I'm gonna definitely be hitting you up. But real quick, hit the chat one more time. We got Alex Brunson
Hey,
representing,
shout out
shouting
to
out
Alex, man.
Lakewood. Yeah,
Yeah, his
shouting out
son
Lake.
Josiah was just at the King of the Courts
Oh
tournament,
yeah,
King of the County tournament. Josiah, man, I love that boy, man. His
oh
son,
yeah.
man, he a solid kid, man. I hope he said he gonna try to walk on that Fayetteville State.
Okay,
I pray for that young man because he got a good heart in his chest. He got a good head on his shoulders. I think
that's good.
that's more than likely a reflection of his daddy, man. So
Oh
Alex,
yes
big
sir,
shout out,
yes
man. You
sir,
should be proud of that boy.
yes sir, yes sir. But like I said, everybody in the chat, man, appreciate y'all listening in. Um, Man, real quick with preseason comes the preseason talk, and that's rankings, man. One of the big things we always like to talk about in the preseason rankings. I released over the last 2 weeks. I released rankings from 1A through 8A, my top five, and my predictions for who's going to win the East. Now, all my rankings are Eastern based, all right? So I don't really include the West. The West gets talked about enough.
They get
We're,
enough.
we're here.
They
We're
get
here to talk
enough.
about. We're here to talk about the Eastern team. So that's what my top that's what I reflected in my rankings. If you want to look at other full rankings, I know Chris Miller, Carolina Press, he just released some rankings. You can go check those out. And I mean, if you look at mine and look at his, man, they kind of close, man. So y'all can't kill me too bad in the chat right now, because I think I was pretty close, man. But real quick, I always say this, and no matter how many times you say it, people still forget. Preseason rankings are preseason rankings, man. All it is an educated guess.
Right. Judging off
Um,
paper.
yeah, don't stop taking it so seriously, but people still take it seriously. I get it. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I released some rankings, so we're gonna run through these and talk about them real quick, and then if y'all want to kill me in the chat, go ahead and get those fingers ready. Go ahead and get typing up because like I say, I mean, I'll stand on it, man. But pull up these rankings real quick.
Here we go.
Started off, of course, I'm gonna go 1A through 8A. Start off with 1A. Like I said, once again, it's all Eastern based. I got Wilson Prep, Northside, Pinetown, Beargrass, Kip, and Weldon. One thing about 1A, and Anthony, I don't know if you feel the same, man. The 1A East is like, I mean, 1A in general with this new realignment is really it's not a lot of quality teams out there, man. If you look at the records and
They
stuff,
watered
and
it down, man.
it's a little bit down. I mean, there was even discussions, and I don't know if there's anything else been discussed about it about them potentially about them potentially combining 1A and 2A just for the playoffs. But I
I heard
haven't
them
heard
talk
anything.
about doing split conference.
I haven't heard anything else about it. So I don't know if they're going to do it. But if it stands the way it stands right now, I got Wilson Prep coming out the 1A East. Their team, a very talented team, made it to the Eastern Championship game last year. Um, they lost a couple guys to transfer, from what I heard, but I still believe they're the most talented team on the board. Um, and if you looking at Mr. Miller's rankings earlier, I may have Kip Pride a little bit to I may switch Kip Pride and Beargrass, but
Mhm.
I feel like yeah, Wilson Prep, Northside, Pontown, those are probably your best two teams. I've heard some stuff about a couple other squads that may come up, but that's just my prediction right there. If, I don't know how you feel about it. If you got an opinion on it or whatnot.
I mean, Wilson Prep has been a next man up type of program for the past few years. Whether it was transfer or graduation, that system I think is what's contributing to the success of that team. So I mean, they're pretty much a plug and play. I don't see, especially with, I hate to say it, but I feel like the conference has got watered down with the realignment. So
Yeah,
that just makes their road a little bit easy. So I don't see nothing really changing for Wilson Prep and their dominance that they've been having for the past few years.
yes sir, yes sir. Anybody in the comments? Any comments on the 1A East before I move on? Let's see, I see nothing new up here. Let me check the Instagram. I'm gonna move on to 2A. Now, two way, and a lot of people you get mad at me.
Now this is
Hey,
where it gets a little
look, you
dicey
get mad
now.
at me. You want to look. I understand it's preseason prediction. You get mad at me. You want to, but look. Hey, look, it's Tarboro, and then it's kind of just what it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? And what's scary about Tarboro, and I'm hearing this from a lot of different of their fans, are they're going to be better this year than they
Yeah,
were last year. And last year,
they're pretty darn good.
what they did in the playoffs last year, that's scary to think. That's scary. I mean, I even saw one comment where they said this might be one of their best teams ever. And when you talk about, programs like Tarboro, you don't throw that around loosely. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they got a lot of talent returning. Man, that running back they have is an absolute beast. He was one of the guys I talked about. Did a little spotlight on.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tarboro's they're just loaded, man. It's gonna take them to have a really, really bad night for another team to knock them off. So I really got them pretty much running away with the 2A East this year. Also, I got Lakewood up there. Lakewood and North Duplin. I feel like they, neck and neck. That's gonna be a really they're of course they're both members of the Carolina 1A Carolina 2A conference now.
Mhm.
Um, they'll be whoever wins that game between them probably be that conference champ. But I kind of got them really pretty much neck and neck. Then of course Eaton Holmes got to show Eaton Holmes some love. They got always had a pretty solid program up there in the northeast part of the state, and Warren County kind of rounded things out. But really, man, it's Tarboro for me, man. I don't know how you feeling about two A East.
Only thing I would change right here, and I know somebody was probably gonna say something about it, but I would flip flop 2 and 3, man. Um, I think North Duplin got more firepower returning. Um, Even though Lakewood is getting a new regime again for the second time in 2 years.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
that's always a little kind of tough. Even though they were very resilient last year with the new regime coming in, um, that was a lot of veteranship in that coaching that he brought there. So how they react to losing, quite a bit. Now they do got some dogs coming back too now, like Deshaun Carr and whatnot. But North Duplin got Phillips coming back. You got the UNC commit. Shayshawn Ruffin still playing both sides of the ball out there. From my understanding, from what I heard, and this is all speculation, that they might try to start putting that ball in the air a little bit this year.
yeah. I
To
feel
kind
like
of
that was the
spread things
one
up and
thing.
open up the box.
Yeah, I feel like that was the one thing they were really missing in that playoff loss to Lakewood. They
Yes.
they couldn't they couldn't complete passes, so
Yeah.
Lakewood was able to really stack the box to kind of contain Phillips.
Made them
And
one dimensional.
yeah,
Yeah. So I've heard that and like I said, it's through the grapevine. You know what I mean? Can't reveal no sources and whatnot. But I think they're trying to adapt to that. They're trying to learn from their losses. That's the only thing I would really change. I heard some good things about Warren County. I got some people up there. My boy Antonio Hicks said that he likes the speed that they got on that team. But speed's only a part of it. You know.
oh yeah,
Speed ain't no good. You can't, you can't get no blocking.
Like I say, you can't. It don't matter how fast that Lamborghini is if you can't get it out the garage. You know.
That's the facts. So I'll be interested to see what come out of there. But I like this list. Like I said, I think two and three are interchangeable. You know what I mean? That's probably going to be conference championship game
Oh yeah,
between them
definitely,
two.
definitely.
But Tarboro, no question. We ain't questioning that right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some voice. We had some boisterous Tarboro fans in the comments when these were released. So they're beating their chests, and I mean it's rightfully so, man. They earned it, man. If you look at what they've done over the last decade, I mean it's I mean it is what it is. You got to respect that, man.
I can say one thing about Tarboro that gave me a sour taste in my mouth, man.
Oh.
And it's not football related. I hate to say it, it's not football
Oh
related.
dang. Oh, okay.
'Cause this is a football show. But the way that they acted at North Dukeland the other year during the tournament game, during the playoffs, I was like, come on now, y'all gotta have more class than that.
We took was it a basketball game?
Yeah, it was a basketball game, and they try to cause like a little malice in the palace at
Oh
North
man.
Dukeland.
Oh wow.
I was like, come on, y'all gotta have more class. I mean, a student, as a kid that was on the team, ran up in the stands on an adult. I was like, come on, man.
Oh
Y'all
dang.
got
Woof.
y'all got to do better for that, man.
Yeah, it's no
Like I
no
said, that was
place for that.
basketball. That was basketball. They maybe they have more decorum on this football
Oh,
team.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like Coach Craddock is one. He don't. I don't think he play that
They
type of games.
nah, nah,
Like, I don't think you have the success that he's had without a team
not
being
tolerating that type of
disciplined.
foolishness.
So uh, for anybody in the comments listening, man, any comments on my two-way list? My two-way list: Tarboro, Lakewood, North Duplin, Eaton Holmes, Warren County. Did I leave somebody out? That's that's always a big question. Shout out to Mr. John Butler. Appreciate you listening in.
What's up, cuz?
But yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, I agree with you, man. Two and three, definitely interchangeable. That's why I had them right there next to each other. And
Mm,
like I said, man, both those teams are very talented teams, and that's going to be a good football game, man. It's going to be a heated football game. It always
you
is,
better
man.
believe it.
It gets emotional, but yeah, that's definitely going to be a good game, man. If no one has any comments, I don't see no comments. I'll go ahead and move on to 3A. And also, man, shout out to everyone listening to us on Instagram, man. I know that's where a lot of our student athletes are. The young
Yes,
people on Instagram. Us old folks still use Facebook. So shout out to Instagram, man. I know a lot of them kids probably either still at practice or just just getting back from practice, so they probably it probably won't be too much activity for them this evening, man. They're gonna be tired.
it better be in
Uh,
there. It better be in there. Epsom salt.
yeah, no, for real. So that
Getting the
cold, that
muscles
cold
back.
plunge, getting that
Yes,
cold
sir. Getting the
plunge.
muscles back. Yeah, the muscles back used to it.
All right, we gonna move on to 3A. Real quick,
Mm,
man.
oh,
3A is probably gonna be my favorite bracket to cover when it comes to the playoffs because 3A East is loaded with so many traditionally strong programs that it's going to be really fun to watch. I feel like it's a lot of parity in the 3A East. I got 1 through 5 listed up here, but I think you could just switch. You could switch all these teams around any which way, have any which combination, and it can't be wrong, man. There's just so many
mm.
talented teams. I know. I'm probably gonna get some. I'm about to get some heat from the
Oh,
from the
them
Kinston
Bulldogs coming
fans.
for you.
The Kinston fans probably about to come for me because I got them too low. I know a lot of people said I got them too low, man. But I'm gonna talk about it real quick, man. I went with Northeastern as number one, just out of respect for them being the defending, defending. Well, they were 2A. A lot, real quick for those that don't know, we are at 8 classifications now, so a lot of our old 2A teams are now
Okay.
3A, and some of them moved to 4A. So just so no one gets lost or confused, when I say Northeastern defending two-way champ or Eastern champ, um, that's from our the old system. So just out of respect for them being finished where they finished it last year, I got them at number one. My number two, I got James Keenan. I know some people said, okay, I think James Keenan lost a lot, and I agree they did, man. And you don't just simply replace a Ty Wilson or or Hassan Cornegi or all those guys that they lost last year. But I believe James Keenan has a lot of good talent coming up. Some of these guys I talked about in our player spotlights.
Hmm.
They had an awesome JV team last year.
Hmm.
They're going to get reinforced through that. So I feel like James Keenan's still going to make some noise this year, man. Um, my number three team, Wallace Rose Hill. Like I said, I don't feel like you could have a top five or top 10 and not include Wallace Rose Hill in the East. I mean, they're always going to be in the conversation. Once again, another team that lost some talent, but they got some really good talent coming up. And like I said, they're always going to be in the conversation, man. So I always, I can't, James Keenan, Wallace Rose Hill combination, they're always going to be right there. Whiteville lost quite a bit. I
Hold on, did
probably
you say
got them ranked.
Whiteville?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Whiteville.
I don't think I said it right. It's Wyville.
Whiteville.
Wyville. I got it. Yeah,
Whiteville.
yeah. But they, but they lost quite a bit of talent. But they're one of those programs that always, they're going to find some players to, and Coach JP Price. He's one of the good ones, man. He's going to get the most out of his kids. So I probably got them too high right now for preseason, but I feel like they could possibly be one of those teams that come come November late in the season they're going kind of once they get their feet wet they're going to be in the conversation. But for right now, yeah, I agree with some people. I probably got them a little bit too high. Um, my 15 Kinston, which I know probably some folks say, hey, you got them way too low, brother. And Chris Miller actually has them if I think he has them number three in his overall rankings. He's got them either
Okay.
two or three in his overall rankings, which is big. I think he had them ahead of Shelby, I believe. But
Mm.
that's a team that has a lot of talk around them. A team that really kind of started to turn some heads last year. Uh, High powered offense. Everyone knew about Tyreek Copper, NC State commit, big
Yeah.
time wide receiver. Got the quarterback coming back. They
Yeah.
got a big time wide receiver transfer from Spring Creek. Brennan Chambers, he's committed to Marshall. I mean, 6'5" wide receiver. That's a matchup issue right there. you
Right.
know, so they got a lot of firepower coming back.
So with all those things that you just said, why do you have them at number five?
I and once I kind of looked at the list, I was like, yeah, like I said, I try to explain it. Like, of course, I gotta have, like I said, Northeastern. They're defending champs, man. They
Right.
lost some stuff, but they got some kids coming back in. As long as Antonio Moore is it Elizabeth City Northeastern, oh they gonna be in the conversation. And I spoke on James Keenan, Wallace Rose Hill. I mean, James Keenan, Wallace Rose Hill. Both these teams, defeated Kinston last year. So that I
This
you
is
know that
true.
was that went into my went into it as well. Um, like I said, Whiteville I probably got too high, so I would probably move Kinston. I would probably move Kinston to number four, and move move Whiteville back. But like I said, I Kinston's going to have a chance to really show people if the hype is for real, because
Yep.
I mean they got Wallace Rose Hill week two,
Yeah.
so
Early.
we'll get to see what they're made of out the
Hey,
gate.
you might have gave him some bulletin board material.
I ain't that wasn't not my intention, but I mean if it not my intention, but like I said, I got a lot of like I said, I covered them a lot this off season, so I know
Hmm.
about the talent they have. They got a I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it like everyone else. you know. But like I said, I want to see. I want to see it on the field. I know it's one thing to talk about in the off season,
Yeah.
but I want to see it on the field. And if they do what if they handle business the way with all the talk around, if they handle business like that, man, um, that week, the last week of the season, that conference championship game against Tarboro, that's going to be
Hmm.
probably the game to watch, throughout the entire state, man. So I want to see, like I say, I'm excited about the 3A East. Like I say, I feel like it's going to be a lot of great matchups come playoff time, and there's some teams we haven't even, that we're not even talking about right now that are not
Right.
on in my top five that or can make some noise. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. But let me, what you got? How would you have your top five here?
I mean, like you said, JK and Wallace did defeat Kingston last year, but you know, football is a any given Friday sport.
Oh yeah,
Um, and things change from year to year.
oh yeah,
You
definitely,
can be at the top of the mountaintop one year, and then you can be in in the valleys down
exactly. Oh,
below.
trust me, I know.
I ain't gonna say about no local team that went
Hey,
through
look,
that, but I
man, look,
mean,
I already know.
we've seen
I,
some up close and personal examples.
I already know, and that's
So
why I tell folks, hey, this is just a preseason. This is a preseason.
this is all
Every,
preseason.
everybody 0-0. No games have been played yet. So, you know,
Um,
and look, I'll stand up here in November, December, and if I'm wrong, and I say, yep, I told you, yeah, y'all were right. I had Kinston too low. I ain't got no problem admitting to it.
only thing that I would change, I would put Kinston at number two.
Okay.
Just because of off paper, purely off paper. So Tigers, Bulldogs, don't get on me too bad. But
Oh, hey, yeah, hey, them JK fans can be ruthless now.
I know I
Ask
see
my boy,
him.
ask my boy Magic about them JK
I
fans.
see him when he talking about the Raiders. Man, I see it with my own eyes. But Kinston on paper, man, with them having that many, commits on the team and stuff, it's a lot of returning talent. Um, like you mentioned about JK's JV team being so good last year, I think that's something that JK probably will have an edge on Wallace with is that they having some kids that are familiar with the system that are stepping up and that are ready to rock and roll. Wallace, on the other hand, I think they lost a good amount of talent that's going to take, their JV wasn't quite as good as JK's
Oh yeah.
JV, let's be honest.
And also, I
So,
think I believe they just lost kid. He would have been a returning starting defensive lineman. I believe he transferred to a 71st.
mm,
So that's gonna hurt. That's probably gonna hurt too.
yeah, man. I mean, that's one of the storied rivalries of this region is Tigers versus Bulldogs. It's always a good fight to see between them two.
Oh yeah, you shoot both
But
games last year were just down to the wire, man.
yes, sir.
I that's like I said. That's if you get a Wallace James Keenan playoff game again this year, man. Trust me, that's one of the ones you don't want to miss right there.
Got to be there.
And that's like that's Duke Carolina. That rivalry goes deep.
Yep.
Real quick, man. Shout out to Mr. Brent Gale, man. Brent Gale, a long time of good friend of mine, man. We talked Clinton football for years, man. Clinton High School class of 1992. Um, Shout out to him for listening in, man. Appreciate you listening. But real quick, man, before we wrap up, any comments from the chat on my 3A East? Let's see. I got a comment on Instagram. Kinston lost two close games to JK and Wallace last year.
This
And
is true. We acknowledge it.
Kinston plays Wallace week 2. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So we'll get to see what if the improvement in like I said, you get to get it's good. It's good when you get to show
Mhm.
exactly how good you are right out the gate. So Get that
That's why
test early in the
that's
season.
why I like those midway Hopkins games at the beginning of the season, man.
Yeah, deep rooted. Hey, that's another Sampson County rivalry right there.
I always like
Underrated
because I think
rivalry.
it is very underrated, man. But like if you from the way, you know what I
Oh yeah,
mean.
because
If you
y'all do not like each other. That I was
hey, look,
the
man,
more
I'm caught.
the more I
I'm caught in
researched
the
it, I was
middle.
like, wow, y'all really don't like each
No, it's deep. It's deep. But one thing, like you said, you can't judge from last year, man. Just because you did it last year, don't mean you're gonna do it this year.
other. I don't know. Yeah, definitely.
So
Hey,
I wouldn't take too much stock. If y'all heard like how the Eagles been doing over their championship run coming back to training camp,
hmm
everybody's been saying the same message. All right, we were the champs last year. We're not the champs this year. It's a whole new year. We're zero
oh yes,
zero.
sir.
So don't get stuck in that trap talking about they lost last year and it's gonna happen this year.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that gets a lot of teams is complacency.
Yes,
Thinking, okay, well, we beat them such and such last year, so we just got to, thinking you just got to show up. Yeah, that definitely gets you beat. Like I
that's some
said,
facts.
any given Friday night, man, we play the games. We play the games for a reason, and that's once
Hmm.
again, just to reiterate what I said before, man. That's one of the things I talked about as far as preseason rankings go. Don't get all up and upset about them. It's just some words on paper. You know, football is played on the football field. You know what I'm saying? So, any more comments on my 3A East? If not, we will move on to the 4A. I know. It's a couple factors in I'll talk about before I. One of the things that's been mentioned is they're kind of going back to the old way where teams on the I guess on the border between West and East, they could go either way. So
Yeah.
there are talks about a team like Reedsville could be seated in the 4A Eastern playoff. So just know if that happens, my prediction may change a little bit. Just just
A
just know
little
that.
bit.
just
A
know
little bit.
that. just know that. But right now, as it stands in preseason, and this is one of the things I talked about with that realignment. I believe like a lot of the stronger former 2A teams got placed in 3A.
Yeah.
Um, if you look at Max Preps or if you look at Carolina Preps and you look at their the teams that they have ranked or that they have ranked in 2A at the end of the season last year, and you look at the 4A teams now, I believe only it was something like maybe three or four of those
Mhm.
teams are that were ranked are 4A teams now. So I
Right.
think West Craven, East Duplin, and Eastern Wayne were like the only teams ranked in the top 25
Right.
that were former 2A teams that went to 4A. So
And can I give this
I-
disclaimer to the people because I think I've heard this misconception a couple of times regarding reclassification. Some
uh,
people truly believe like the classifications of 4A, 5A, 6A and stuff is based off of talent and skill and all that.
oh no
It
no
is
no
based off of population. It
yeah.
is based off population. It's based off of student body of how many students are attending that school. So don't think that they just realign it because it'll be more competitive. This ain't like the pros and whatnot. Them classes are based off of populace of that school.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that because someone I can't remember who said it, man. Someone was saying something about Tarboro only wins because they're not in the right class. I'm like, well, if you look
Right.
at the number of students, they're
They're
in the
they're
right
right where
class.
they're
I mean,
supposed to
you,
be.
they're where they're supposed to be. You can't. I mean, it is what it is. But you're absolutely correct. For anybody that has any confusion, there's an ABM number that comes out every year. That's
Yep.
how that's how teams that's how they put these teams in these classes. So um,
And it's open to the public too.
yeah, you can look it. I mean, you can look
You
it
can
up. You
look it
can
up.
go on Google right now. Type in NCHSA ADM numbers, and they'll show you all the numbers for each school. Real quick. Like see, oh Ryan Sutherland knows we're talking about the 4A East now, so he knows what I'm about to talk about.
He chiming in.
Yeah, he already know what I'm about to talk about. Um, like I said, going back to it, as it stands right now, without any changes, if Reedsville and everyone stays west, right now preseason once again preseason, I got West Craven, East Duplin, Eastern Wayne, Southwest Edgecombe, and Burlington Cummins. Um, even though I got West Craven as my number one in the preseason, I have East Duplin actually winning the Eastern Championship. And real quick, just to talk about them, like I said, Battle Holly is one of the best coaches in the state. Regardless of
Mhm.
classification, always gets the most out of his kids. They've got a solid group coming back. Had to deal with some injuries last year,
Mhm.
but they had an outstanding JV team, like we talked about with James Keenan. So they're getting reinforced with that, and they return a lot. Uh, um, Quarterback, skill positions. Sean Davis, one of the best running backs in the area. They return a lot of talent. So just looking at the 4A East as it stands right now, they're one of my favorites. I got them, winning the Eastern Championship. Of course, man, I feel like Wes Craven is also really talented. DJ Davis, quarterback from West Craven, is one of the best athletes on this part of the state. If you haven't seen him play, check him out. He's another one of the kids I spotlighted over the summer. Um, Also, I mean Eastern Wayne kind of I guess people would say they underachieved last year. They had a really good record, but kind of got knocked out early. Southwest Edgecombe played in a really competitive conference where with West Craven. I think it was West Craven, them, North Pitt. Um, I can't remember who else. But it was a crazy conference. I believe
Mhm.
it was the Eastern Plains Conference because they all beat each other. It was crazy. Like the top 4 or 5, I think they sent every single team to the playoffs, and all of them beat each other. Like I think the conference champ had like a 6-5 record because I mean it
So
was
it's like a
crazy.
coin toss almost.
Yeah, it was literally like any given Friday night when they started conference play, anybody could beat anybody. It didn't matter, but they're coming out of that really tough conference, and they got a lot of good. I heard they got a lot of coming back, so they're one that I may have too low, but they could definitely contend. I checked out Burlington Cummins. Burlington Cummins has some kids. They got some. They got a. If you look at their goal max prep and look at their returning guys, they had some guys that put up some really impressive numbers last year. The one
Yeah.
thing I heard, they lost their coach like right as summer started, so that's always a challenge. Having to replace your staff that this close to the start of the season. But they got some kids, man. They got some talent returning, so there's someone I'm not going sleep on, but. As far as the 4A East goes, man, I really like East Duplin. But how you feeling?
I don't see much wrong with this. I like East Dukeland um quite a bit. Like you said, they had some injuries last year, but they got a lot of speed and they got size over there, man. Um, Speed and size.
And
You got
coaching.
size in the churches. You got speed on the outside, and like you said, when you got a good coach at the helm, I mean that's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
Wes Craven has been in their groove for a while now, so they do have something that they have to take care of to knock off. But I like these Dukes, but I feel your whole logic behind this list right here. It all makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. And real quick, just going to the chat real quick. Mr. Brent Gale said looking forward to the season. He's a diehard dark horse. We already know that. We already know that, Brent. Uh, but he said his nephew's playing at Southeast Alamance, and Brent. Yeah, that's a team we'll be talking about a little bit later on. But appreciate that comment. Ryan Sutherland said, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Yeah, he said, "Hey, I mean, I feel y'all. I feel like it's y'all's to lose this year, man." Like I said, I think Battle's gonna have them boys ready. Like I said, man, when you got You got a coach like that that's that's you already got talent on the team. And
Yeah.
he's going to get the maximum effort out those kids. That's
Mhm.
that's uh that's scary to think about, man. So I think it's going to be a good season for East Duplin. Mr. Charles Williams says East Duplin beat my Bulldogs, St. Paul's Bulldogs in the playoffs last season. Yeah, that's something we're going to talk about in a second, Mr. Williams. When I move to 5A. Um, Tabitha Wish said, "Yes, sir. Let's go East Duplin." Mr. Dell Jackson said, "My dark horses will be better this year." Laugh out loud. Uh, I, Mr. Jackson, it ain't nowhere else to go but up, man. We ain't got no choice but to go up. 2-8 season last year. I'll talk more about Clinton when we kind of get into more team breakdowns, but um, only had 5 seniors last season. Return a large group of juniors, sophomores. Got a really talented freshman coming in, a new quarterback. So I feel like, yeah, definitely it's no place to go but up for Clinton, man. Could possibly be a sleeper. Who knows? But definitely looking forward to a better season for the Clinton Dark Horses. But appreciate your comment. Travaris Staten says, "Tis the season." Yes, sir. Tis the season.
Yes,
Football season,
sir.
baby. Let's see what else we got. Mr. Del Jack said Clint JV was good last year. Yes, sir. They were, like I said.
And
That's why I'm
Clinton,
excited. I'm excited about some.
SMS won the middle school. They
Yeah,
got a lot of
I'm
eighth graders coming from SMS. That
yeah,
to
yeah.
be fair,
I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited about some of the younger guys that we got coming up, man. And this is a name, man. I know his dad was up here listening earlier on, but yo, and you probably heard me say this name before. During during the summer and last year when we covered some of the middle school games. Zaire
Zaire.
Strickland.
I knew that's the name you was about to say.
Zaire Strickland.
Yeah.
You may not know him right now,
No, I don't
but
you.
guarantee. Like I said, if you're in Sampson County, you probably know him.
You know
But
him. You know him.
I'm talking about more outside. But
Yeah.
if you don't know him right now, you will. Trust me, that kid's got some talent, man. I mean, chip off the old block. I remember playing against his dad. Oh, excuse me. I remember playing against his dad when I was in school. I mean, his dad was like I said, his dad was a beast, and those those genes is strong, man. So, shout out to Wayne Strickland, man. He's been a big supporter of the program, the show. So, definitely looking forward to seeing his son in action.
Yeah.
Let me see. Charles Williams said St. Paul's JV won their conference championship. Hold on, that's debatable, man. Because Clinton and St. Paul's was in the same conference. I gotta double check that. Um, anything on James Keenan? Well, we just spoke on James Keenan, but we'll backtrack in a little while. But I kind of just want to get through this real quick. Appreciate all the comments, man. Appreciate everybody listening in.
Yes.
Like I said, feel free to comment, man. We'll try to shout you out and answer any questions or read out any comments that you have. But any more comments, concerns on the 4A East? I know Ryan Sutherland's happy. Ryan, you happy?
He
East
gotta be.
Duplin, East Duplin,
He,
Eastern champs. He look. Ryan don't care. Ryan don't care if Reedsville goes. If Reedsville comes east, Ryan said, "I still don't care. It's still gonna be the same thing." But let's see. Okay, so Mr. Charles said they beat Clinton 16-0 last year. I know. I thought we let's see. I gotta double check that real quick. I thought we was conference champs, but maybe I was wrong. Real
uh-uh.
quick, I'm just checking that real quick. Yeah, he probably right though. Yeah, that's my mistake. I thought G5 them boys got him last year, but I guess not. Yeah, 16-0. Any more comments on 4A East? I'm not seeing anything. But appreciate that, Charles Williams. Appreciate that information, man.
You know he can't let that slide.
He's like, hold up. He said, fake news, fake news. Let me fact check you
We cannot
real
let
quick.
that slide.
Give me 1 second while I load up my 5A. But well, Mr. Charles Williams, you gonna like my what I got to say next. So I'm gonna make up for it. I'm gonna make up for it, brother. There we go. This is my 5A. All right. Preseason wise, I got Havelock as number one. I mean, and it's basically man, Havelock traditional power. They're one of those teams that they lose them. They graduate a lot of seniors, but it seems like they're one of those teams that always have talent, in the pipe. But Mr. Charles Williams, as you can see, my prediction for the Eastern champion is St. Paul's, and that's probably not a popular pick amongst the football pundits and experts, but St. Paul's has a lot of talent returning. They got some big time D1 talent, in the backfield and on the D line. Um, they're benefiting from a couple of really solid transfers, kids that I spotlighted for other teams. Then all of a sudden, boom, they're in St. Paul's. I'm like, oh man. So they got a lot. They got a good group coming back. Coach Mike Seltzer he's a really talented coach. Great staff. They're going to be tough, man. I think they're going to surprise some people in 5A. Of course, like I said, you got the traditional guys. Havelock. I heard a lot of good things about Rocky Mount. Southern Nash is always tough. CB Acock had a good team last year, and a team that Mr. Brent was talking about. His nephew played for Southeast Alamance. That's a young school, but since they started that football program, man, they pretty much overachieved. Had a really solid team last year. Kind of fizzled out in the playoffs there, but there I got them as an honorable mention. Man, they could definitely be in the top. Definitely a top 10 in the East. They'll be in the conversation. But yeah, I'm really liking I'm liking St. Paul's, man. I'm liking St. Paul's to you know break through and surprise some folks. How you feeling about that list, Anthony?
I don't see nothing wrong with it. St. Paul's got a chip on their shoulder, but Havelock is Havelock, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they that
yeah. That
dog
that
until you show us something different.
yeah. That's why I gave them that respect to having them as my preseason number one. But like I said, they're just one of those teams that's always always right there. But I mean, I got a good feeling about St. Paul's, man. I think they just like a Kinston in 3A, man. I feel like they could shock some folks.
Facts. Um, Now, do you feel like there's any sleeper? Because St. Paul's ain't really a sleeper. It's just those are the number one contenders
I
that can
feel like
definitely knock off
people.
Havelock on any given Friday. But like, do you feel like there's a sleeper amongst Rocky Mount or CBA Cup or Southern Nash?
Uh, I would say my sleeper would be a Southeast Alamance because
Okay.
I feel like the rest of these guys are if you look at the football pundits, the experts, the ones that's always posting these type of things. Um, these five pretty much get mentioned, but you don't really see too much Southeast Alabama. And like I said, if they got a lot returning, I feel like they could possibly be a sleeper. But I call St. Paul's a sleeper because they're not that popular pick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I put this list in front, of an expert, they're gonna automatically St. Paul. I mean, automatically Havelock's gonna stand out, and probably like Southern Nash. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Um, But what I was talking about before, a lot of people sleep on St. Paul's because they underachieved in the playoffs last season. I mean, they were conference champions of the SAC Six, pretty much ran through our conference. But you see, they host East Duplin. East Duplin finished what third or fourth in the ECC last year,
Yeah.
and knocked them off. So a lot of people are sleeping on St. Paul's for stuff like that, saying they kind of fizzle out in the playoffs and whatnot. But I feel like I feel like they got a really good group. As long as the quarterback position's solid, I feel like they can really do some numbers, man. Like I said, they got some really talented transfers that came in on
Mm.
top of what they already got returning from, and what they're getting from a strong JV team. Obviously, as Mr. Charles Williams reminded me that beat my dark horses, that beat my dark horses 16-0.
Defending
So
champs.
yeah, I like I said, I just I just got a good feeling about St. Paul's, man. And Mr. Brent
Look,
Gill said Southeast has basically everyone coming back this season. So that's like I said, they were pretty solid last year. So you got that much experience returning, they definitely a
still
team
gets
to
in your
watch
face.
out for. Watch out for. Real quick, Mr. Charles Williams said his nephew plays for St. Paul's. Okay, I believe we talked about your nephew before, sir. Um, he also mentioned Havelock is elite. So, of course, like I said, you don't give respect to where respect is due. Havelock is one of those programs like a East Duplin, like a Wallace Rose Hill, like a Tarboro. That's they're always going to be in the conversation. So, if I didn't have them in my top five, yeah, there'll definitely be some cause for concern.
Facts.
Real quick, any other comments on the 5A East? If not,
Solid list.
I'm gonna go ahead and load up. We'll go ahead and load up 6A. Six A really caused 6A caused some debate. I don't know why, but but it was some northern Nash fans that didn't like what I had to say. I guess because as you can see my comment, I basically said, man, I kind of wanted to just stop the whole list after I listed number one. Look,
It's
no
like when Larry
disrespect.
Bird went to the 3-point contest. He said, "All right, y'all, who's coming in second place?"
Hey, look, I know we talk about it. Football's played on the field. It's not played on paper. Any given
Yeah,
Friday night, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But look, 71st different, man. 71st got some dogs, bro.
that have already
Look,
shown and proved. It ain't even like potential. You know what I'm saying? It's
they
like
got it
they got guys that's already showed and proved, and they still here. You know what I mean? They ain't going nowhere.
and
Um,
got a couple dogs transferred in. Like I'm like, man, like you want to talk about
facts.
the rich? You want to talk about the rich
Rich get
getting richer?
richer.
Like I said, no disrespect to any other teams on the list, but I just feel like the same thing I said about Tarboro. And on this list, 71st is just a cut above the rest, man. I saw they got a transfer, a quarterback transferred in, a military kid. Played last year, played his sophomore year in Germany last year. Um, I haven't got a chance to look at his film, but
Mm.
uh, good sized kid. So he's going. I mean, he's already earned the QB1 spot. So that says something,
That says something.
so I'm gonna have to check him out. But yeah, just the talent they return, solid coaching staff. I just feel like, I mean, it's theirs to lose once again. But we say it all again. We say it before. Football's played on the field. So no disrespect to anybody else. J.H. Rose had one of the best playoff runs. I mean, for a team with the record that they had
I agree.
last year, I think they came into the playoffs with a losing record and just got hot. And a part of that was
That's the best time to get hot.
they played a really tough schedule that got them some losses, but
Mhm.
you could tell that it paid dividends come playoff time because they were just on a different level. And honestly, if it wasn't for them losing to 71st, I believe that's ended up knocking them off. I mean, they probably could have kept it
Yeah,
going, man. But yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna give respect to Rose. Northern Nash. I could probably switch Northern Nash and Rose. Northern Nash, a lot of talent returning. They're always a strong program. Jacksonville lost a lot, but I feel like they're always in the conversation. They'll rebuild. I'm I may have Terry Safford too. I may need to slide Terry Safford in there because they got a lot returning. Scotland, same thing, man. Richard Bailey out there in Scotland always. When you got coaches like that, they're always gonna get the most out their team. But yeah, that's my 6A, man. It's I feel like it's 71st, and everyone else. And once again, it's gonna take a really I don't know. Is it gonna take a lot of untimely injuries,
Which we
which
don't
we've
wish
seen
for.
happen with
We don't
them?
wish for that.
But don't wish for it. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
happened. We saw what happened in the state championship with them last year. It's gonna take some untimely injuries or just a really, really, really bad night for someone to knock them off. But yeah, I got 71st. But I don't see how you feeling about
I was saying, man, who coming in second place? Who coming in
that.
second place? So, only thing with the list, uh, Northern Nash, I saw them in the 707, but the 707s can be
uh-huh.
misleading, and they don't always paint the full story. But they look like
Yeah.
they had a good amount of speed and some good play calls, a little trickery with their passing scheme that they have up
Okay.
there. Jacksonville, and I say this about almost every like kind of military based school, right? Some of their seasons depend on who's stationed where, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Lejeune have a
Yeah.
good team, and then Lejeune have a dog crap team, and it just depends on who's stationed there at that time. And it's a kind of hold your breath type thing with the military schools like that. Um,
Oh yeah.
Terry
Yeah. Yeah.
Sanford, on the other hand, I felt like even though last season wasn't as much as they expected it to be, they have something that they can build on. I looked at them a little bit last week, and I don't know. They're worth an honorable mention. You know what I'm saying? Jacksonville has a little bit more proof in the pudding, but then, like I said, it's just a toss up about who's actually showing up to camp, who actually is going to be on the depth chart this year, and who's not.
Uh, man, the moment I said something about 71st, comments lit up, man. Real quick, I'm gonna run through
Oh,
these. Yeah, Charles Williams said, yeah, 71st for sure. Yeah, Danny Chavis said, yeah, some dog for real. Yeah, Brent Gale said, yeah, 71st.
oh, Charlie said we were
Mr.
upset
Charles,
71st this season on October 16th. Hey, look, I'm not.
I don't know if it was him. I know the comment you're referring to. It was somebody talking about Cape Fear. Said Cape Fear is going to be
I'm
71st.
looking at comments. It just said my
If you
St.
go
Paul's
if
Bulldogs will upset 71st this season. We played them October 16th. He and he
oh dang
corrected it. He
oh
doubled down.
wow
He corrected it. He said my St. Paul's Bulldogs will
wow
upset 71st this year, October 16th.
wow
Man, Mr.
hey
Williams.
Charles
Mr. Williams.
Hey Charles, man, Charles, you dropped some pearls this evening, but sir, that I don't think that's it, man. Look, like I said, I like St. Paul's this year, but not in that game, sir.
Mr. Williams. I'm not a gambling man.
Uh
But if I
oh,
was,
hey, that's what I said about it was someone in the comments talking about the Cape Fear game. I said, look, I ain't a bad man, but if I was that night, I'm gonna put my money on second first.
now look, if
But
they end up, if St. Paul's win that game October 16th, I have to come back on this
hey, well,
platform and eat crow. I have to come back and
hey,
sincerely
I'll do it.
apologize to
Like I
Mr.
said,
Charles Wood.
hey, look, it won't be the first time. I'll do it. Hey, Mr. Charles, if y'all pull that
You
off,
have
man,
my
look,
word. I will
I'll
come up
hey,
here and
sir,
sincerely
I will
apologize.
I will invite you on. I will invite you on the show, and you can talk all the crap you want to me. Oh man, but he also said he thinks Scotland should be moved up to number 3. Like I said, yeah, it's Jacksonville got a dog at running back. Oh, Jackson, they stay having a
Yeah,
dog at running back. Then
that'll
they had a
never
kid that
change.
committed to UNC last year. Man, he was crazy good. Uh, Mr. Brent Gill said, "Shot fired, man. Hey, Brent, man, stop instigating." But any more comments on our 6A East predictions? Yeah, yeah. You're right, sir. You are completely 100% right. He's saying the game's got to be played, and yeah, yes, sir. You were
Yes,
completely
sir.
right.
Wins and losses
He
depicted
said
on the gridiron.
I think the one good thing I believe about Sunny First is coaches. I think they do a good job of keeping those kids like I said, keeping those kids
Yeah.
focused, man. Like I said, one of the biggest nemesis to a really really good football team is complacency.
Hmm.
So as long as you can't feel like okay, show up and the team's gonna lay down just because the name across our
Well,
jersey.
let me tell you about this
They
one
they
little
do they
joker
do a
over
good
there
job of
that I know is hungry.
yeah, they do a good job of yeah they do a good job of staying hungry. And I mean they what better motivation, man? If you look at the way that they lost in state
Hmm.
championship games the last 2 years, I mean that's enough motivation right there. To get back, to prove everyone wrong because don't want to go too far. I really did. I really wasn't a fan of what some of the things that the West Charlotte folks were saying last year about
Yeah.
how they should have won by 3 or 4 touchdowns and this was an easy game for them and blah blah blah. This that and third, man. I'm like, man, if you would have took on, and I understand, at that point in the season, no one's 100%, but we talk about 71st losing their two best players
Right.
at like the worst time, and not being 100% for that game. But DeAndre Ness 100%, man. That 71st wins, and not
Facts.
only do they win, I believe they win. I believe they win by a score or two. But that's just me. Don't let if, don't let that slip up to a Western based fan, man. That's gonna cause havoc on. But that's just my opinion there. But
Now I feel like if they were fully healthy, they would have dogged them out,
oh
man.
yeah,
Because that 71st team was super hungry, bro.
oh yes sir,
Super hungry. And then when you had that amount of youth, I mean, like discipline youth, self discipline youth, along with good coaching. Them kids gonna be right as rain, man. And I pray that they be at full strength at the start of the season, so they can right those wrongs and get their face back.
yes sir,
Shout out Sean Paul Jr.
oh yes sir. hey, hey, like I said, man, they got some dogs out there, man. Them kids is hungry. All right, real quick, when we get to these, and I'll say this about the 7A and 8A. There's just those. There's just so much talent with these teams
It's
that
too
like I had a hard time trying to I'm pretty sure you could put these in any kind of order, but looking at what Chris Miller had, I was pretty close. I want to say so. I'll see what y'all think about it. But this is my 7A. Um, I got Cardinal Gibbs as my number one team. Of course, I got Cleveland up there, Richmond, Clayton, and rounded it out with New Bern. My honorable mention Southeast Raleigh. Southeast Raleigh is a team that we paid a lot of attention to the last couple of years. Uh, good supporter of the show. Coach Brandon Simmons, he was out there, so he was always giving us a lot of good information out there, and they got a lot of talent. So I feel like Southeast Raleigh is one of those teams that we're not talking a lot about it, at the beginning of
Mhm.
the season, but as the season goes, they have some talent, man. They have some big time talent. Of course, all these bigger schools do, but yeah, I believe that conference because they're all in the same conference. Cleveland, Clayton, and Southeast Raleigh are all in the same conference. That's going to be a really fun conference to watch on Friday nights when the conference play kicks off because I think they really have a lot of good teams in that conference. But this is my 7A right here, so I'm going with Cardinal Gibbons as the champ. Like I said, if it wasn't for the only team that could really touch them last year, Roseville. So. Um, That's who I
Roseville
got.
moved up, right?
Roseville moved up. So I mean, ain't
Yeah.
nobody standing there waiting now. I mean, like I said, of
That's
course, like I
almost
said,
like the
Cleveland's gonna
Wilson
be
Prep
good. Richmond's
ordeal
gonna be
right
good.
there, man.
Clay's gonna be good. But yeah, I like Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to the Wilson Prep ordeal how we started off with, man. When you get rid of um Lex Lex Luthor, you know what I'm saying, then Superman ain't really got no weakness he got to worry about.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh yes, sir.
Um, Now, the Cleveland have the possibilities. The Richmond have the possibilities. I believe both of those teams do. Then Clayton and New Bern, I'll give them an any given Friday chance. Under the right circumstances,
Oh
an
yeah.
injury here, wet conditions there, or something like that. But Roseville was really their only big kryptonite that they
Hmm.
had in their way. And now with them
Right.
being moved on,
Clear
it's
path.
kind of theirs for the taking. I hate to pencil them in, but
Oh yeah.
it's
It,
tough.
it's but it for me because like I said, I know of these schools, but I'm not 100% always familiar with them. But I know when it gets to these 7A and 8A teams, man, it doesn't matter how many seniors they graduate. There's so many kids they have on these teams that they just step. I mean, it's just like, all right, plug and replace, and they lost a
Mixing
lot
them
of
up.
time. All like I looked at all these schools. A lot of these schools lost. I mean, it's average for a 7A 8A team to graduate 20 to 25 kids and not even miss a beat. For us, you talk about a 2A 3A school, man. You graduate 25 kids, man. You in rebuild mode automatically. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
It's a
it's
fact.
crazy. Like I said, like you pointed out, how they break these schools down by numbers. Man, go up there and look at these numbers of these bigger schools. Man, it is
They actually
ridiculous
have cuts.
how many kids they have. I believe we got a JV and a varsity, and barely have enough kids, but you have these schools up here, man. They have freshmen. Some of these schools have freshman teams. Just
Yes,
all
sir.
freshman teams. They got a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team. It's yeah, it's just crazy the differences. You know what I'm saying? But
And then when you got schools like that, like I said, that actually have cuts, you
that's
get a
crazy.
different level of players. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
that's
Down here,
crazy.
man, all you got to do is show up, come to practice, you get a jersey. These kids down here don't really know what a cut feel like. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't make it good enough. I need to try harder next year. Them jokers up there have cuts, man. And that and that's a different breed. That creates a different breed.
Real quick, let me go to the comments. Uh, See, Mr. Williams, Shad Williams talked about New Bern has a dog at running back. Also, I gotta look him up. Um, Mr. Anthony Harris said I think Richmond is beating Cardinal Gibbons. They were extremely young last year, which don't surprise me. And I got a lot of that's another traditional power. Richmond, Richmond County. I know back when I was in school, man, that's one of the schools you always heard about. Richmond and that Richmond. We talk about rivalries, man, and that's another big one. That Richmond Scotland rivalry, man. If you never
Yeah.
got to go, if you never saw those two play, that's definitely on the the high school football bucket list to check one of those games out. But Richmond, one of the schools, always got a lot of talent, man. Solid coaching. Yeah, they'll definitely. It wouldn't surprise me, man. They'll be in the conversation. Uh, Charles Williams said the same thing. Richmond's tough. Uh,
Mhm.
Going back to 6A real quick, Anthony Harris said 71st and St. Paul's will be a good one. He said they scrimmaged them the past 4 years. Definitely got a big time respect for their staff. And that's what I say. Yeah, Coach Mike Setzer out there at St. Paul's, man. He's a good one, man. He's one of the best in the area, man. Um, what else? Charles Williams, no doubt, setting first at the standard in 910 area high school football right now. Yes, sir. Uh, Giorgio Melvin, Cleveland defensive athletes are going to be tough. If you haven't checked his son out, yeah, his I posted his son as one of our spotlights. I mean, just straight dog on the defensive line, plays multiple positions. Definitely one to watch. So definitely,
Is he
if you
inside
haven't
and
done,
outside?
I mean, play inside, outside,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and definitely, hey, if you haven't done so already, scroll down, check his film out, man. Let's see. Anthony Harris said they play. They should have played week one, Richmond and Scotland. Yeah, yeah, that would have been a good one right out the gate. But any other comments on 7A East? If not, let me check Instagram real quick. Looking on Instagram, I'm gonna go ahead and load up my last one. We're gonna talk 8A, the
It's
elite
the
of the
one, huh?
elite. Oh yes, sir. And my picks are surprised a lot, man. They just been, they were dogs last year. They got some dogs coming back this year. Um, Man, I'm going with Roseville as my number one and my Eastern champ. I do like Hoggard though, man. When we started, showing the Wilmington area love, man, they got a lot of Hoggard has a lot of athletes returning, a lot of talent returning. Some solid kids. So that's going to be maybe this year may not be the year, but I mean definitely a team to watch next year because a lot of those kids are coming back. I mean, a lot of them were this be like their junior, sophomore, junior year, so they got a lot of talent coming back. Millbrook's going to be good. Jordan's going to be good. Leesville Rose always good. Pinecrest. It almost seems criminal to have Pinecrest not in the you know as an honorable mention, but like I said, 8A, man, 8A's kind of packed. As far as some of these Eastern teams, a lot of good teams, but yeah, I'm rolling with Roseville on that one. Know if you how you feel about that one.
Who's some of the other ones that are missing?
Ooh,
I don't have the 8A list in front of me. I memorized
yeah,
almost all the other
I
ones
had to
except
pull up
8A.
the list, but
And then
I mean
I've been
it's
focused so much on 8A West with Ho and Ethan out there and stuff.
ooh, uh, I had to pull up the list again, man. But I was
No, you good, you good.
once I pulled up once I got Roseville, I was going back and forth looking up teams and everything, and it's like I said, it's just so much talent. Like I mean, you could probably because just going off of Mr. Miller's list, you could probably move Millbrook up to two, Jordan up to three. I mean, you could take that list 2 through 5 and kind of mix it around any way you wanted to because it's just like those all those schools up in that area, man. It's just so much talent. But I got Roseville coming out the East, man. I don't know how everyone's feeling about that. Mr. Anthony Harris, I believe Gardner, and don't quote me on this, but I believe Gardner's 7A, but I have to check on it because I believe they're in the same I believe they're in the same conference with Southeast Raleigh, Cleveland, and Clayton. But I'll have to double check that for you. But yeah, I like Roseville. Mr. Gale said did Clinton get a QB transfer from Roseville?
Mm,
Oh yes, they did. He was Roseville's JV quarterback last year.
yeah.
But yeah, he did transfer to Clinton, so that's big time for the Dark Horses. Charles Williams says I'm going with Millbrook because of their defense. They got two top elite linebackers. Hey, I mean defense wins championships, so I definitely agree with you. Yeah, Trey Scott said Gardner 7A, and appreciate you, Trey Scott listening in. Trey Scott, he's the newest Eastern. I guess he's covering the Eastern teams for NC Preps now. So shout out to
Okay.
him listening in, man. Appreciate you, checking us out this evening. Um, Man, Anthony, any more comments on the rankings before we wrap up our rankings talk?
I think
8A.
I think you've done a pretty good job, man. Um
Yeah, I didn't see too many angry folks in the comments, so I think
right.
mission accomplished, man. Because hey, I seen some man they be tearing people up, man. Poor Joe Bryant from high school OT, man, he be catching hell on on
Yeah,
Twitter
that's
or
true.
Twitter X, wherever you want to call it now. But yeah, I think we did pretty good, man.
Yeah, like I said, Roosevelt moving up, and now that Lex Luthor don't have Superman to worry about, they should take their conferences. But I would love to see, a Millbrook or even Hoggard, step up and kind of knock them off their square because the fat cat gets a little complacent sometimes and it takes a little humble loss to get them back up and running.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the way that Roseville been running, man, no, it looks like they gonna have this one in the bag again.
Oh man, but that kind of wraps up our 1A through 8A rankings talk for the East. So now I'm gonna try something a little different, something we talked about in our last show. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to actually come up here and debate us a little bit if you want to, or anything we talked about this evening, or anything you want to talk about. Just a fun way to do a little bit of fundraising for the show. So we do do some more things for the kids and just help the show keep on running. Um, cash at me $5. We'll send you a link, let you join the show. Um, first come, first serve. I use Restream, so you got to be able to got to be able to use be able to hop on Restream. It shouldn't be too hard. Even though my boy Magic is trying to get on right now, but he's having some issues with it. That's why we kind of briefly went back to just doing a Facebook Live because he was having issues with it. But we're gonna give you guys someone a chance to come up here and give their 2 cents in. So it's gonna be first come first serve, or uh, you got to keep it clean. We ain't gonna be we don't bash coaches. If you have a like a little difference with a play call or something like that,
That's one thing.
cool. But we don't take no personal insults to coaches. Definitely no personal insults to players. We definitely don't do that here. So keep it clean. Time permitting, we will try to keep it like 5 to 10 minutes. But anybody that wants to come up here and talk with us real quick, I got everything, got the information on the screen, and I'll shoot you a message with the link, and we go like that. So if we got any takers, go ahead and step up. And this is something that we're going to do for every show that we do during the season. Time permitting, of course, But anybody wants to
I
step
know
up
there's
and
some dark horses out there. I know there's some dark horses that feel a little slighted. I
oh
know
yeah,
there's some
definitely. Hey,
Raiders out there that feel a little slighted.
but yeah, like I said, this is something we're gonna do every week. Also, while we wait, let's see if I get any notifications. While we wait, uh, one thing I want to put out there: we are actively looking for sponsors for the podcast. So, if you're a local business owner, or if you work with a business that may be interested in sponsoring the show, please get in touch with me. Get in touch with me through email or through personal messages. Um, we do weekly rates. Um, we do we do season rates or month to month, whatever works for you. Get a chance to get up here. We'll put your logo, put your name on our visuals. Let you sponsor the Buck Sweet Sports Game of the Week. Um, Ad reads on the show each week. So definitely, if you're interested in sponsoring the show, please get in touch with us. But I'll give that a couple minutes, man. If we have no takers, man, we'll go ahead and move on. But just throwing it out there, that's something we're going to be doing this year, and for just a creative way to do some fundraising, so we can do some stuff for the kids at the end of the season, or something for our Busby Sports Player of the Week, Church Warrior of the Week. And speaking of that, Anthony, man, I guess it'll be a good time for me to go ahead and talk about week one. I'm gonna go ahead and name our Buck Sweet Sports games of the week.
Okay.
We're actually gonna do two. for week one. My first one's gonna be Clinton versus Lakewood.
I
Um,
knew that was. I
for the
knew that
first, I
had to be
mean,
one.
look, people gonna be like, "Oh, he's a Clinton fan. That's the only reason he's doing it." No, no, no. Check this out. For those that don't know, this is the first time that these two teams have played in a regular season game since 1982. They played in scrimmages. They played in jamborees. I'm talking about a real
They
bona
have not
fide
played in a
regular season
real
game.
regular
You know,
season game.
it counts. We keeping score legit. It counts. This is the first time since 1982, so that's going to be a big time game in Sanford County. So I mean, it would be just straight up disrespectful for us to say we cover in this area and not have that as our one of our games of the week. So Clinton versus Lakewood, week one, Bucks We Sports game of the week. But hey, it's week one, start of football season. We just can't have one, so we got to do two. So our second game of the week, or co-game of the week, will be East Duplin versus Wallace Rose Hill. Big time Duplin County
Yeah.
rivalry. Can't ignore that one, man. Big time bragging rights. Yeah, they may not be in the same conference anymore, but this game is
The
still
rivalry is still deep. Panthers
the
Bulldogs is
game
still
still
deep.
matters. So we're yeah, we're going with that one right there. So Buck Sweet Sports games of the week for week one: Clinton versus Lakewood and East Duplin versus Wallace Rose Hill. Any comments on that? Did I get them wrong? Is there somebody else I should be looking at? Let me know in
I
the
mean,
comments. But
you got Lakewood's, what was it? Lakewood's defensive coordinator. I
yeah,
mean,
he
not
was on
Clinton's
Clinton staff
defensive
last year.
coordinator. Defensive Clinton's defensive coordinator coming on over to Lakewood and facing his former team. That's a storyline within itself. You know, on top of these two teams having faced in the regular season since Lord knows when. So
Oh,
the storylines is already written. Get there early. Is all I can suggest.
yeah,
Because I got a
yeah,
good feeling that's going to be a packed out
yeah.
game.
Oh
Not just
yes,
because it's the first game of the season, but because of the magnitude of Lakewood versus Clinton. You got to get there early for that one. Um, well
yeah. That's what.
deserved.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. I can't make no promises, man, because of so much stuff going on. But I'm trying to make it home for that game because I really want to be there in person to really bring y'all coverage for that. But yeah, that's gonna be a big time game, man. Like I said, man, any other week one games that y'all think I missed? Someone said 71st and Terry Sanford. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. That's gonna be a good one.
Mm,
But I don't know, man. Look, first time since 1982, man. We gotta have that Lakewood Clinton game, man. That's
yeah,
that's it's just the
yeah,
significance behind it, man. Terry Sanford the same first play all the time, man.
yeah,
Look, trust me,
yeah,
if for those that are new to the channel, whatever, we try to spread the love around. So we're not gonna be the game of the week is not gonna be the same teams every week.
yeah,
We try to spread the love. So and like I said, with so much attention coming from other areas, if it's a big game in the East, we're going to try to, we're gonna definitely be trying to cover it. But if y'all don't know how it works, we talk about each game each week. We're gonna break down 71st and Terry Stafford. So it's gonna be talked about, but it's just not gonna be our feature. And for those who don't know, with our games of the week, we like to point out a Bucks Sports Player of the Week and Trench Warrior of the Week. Trench Warrior of the Week, offensive linemen are the people that always never get the love and recognition that the skilled guys get in the newspapers and whatnot. So we tried each week to point out an outstanding offensive lineman and recognize them with a visual and a post and everything. So that's what that is. And of course, Buzzfeed Sports Player of the Week for that game. That's kind of self-explanatory, man. Whoever the outstanding player for that game. So for week one, we'll have a couple guys we'll be recognizing. So looking forward to that. But let me check the. No one been on our chat to speak up. So maybe next week. But that's like I said once again. That's gonna be something we're gonna be doing throughout the season. I know.
don't nobody have no ammo right now.
That's what I
All
said.
people,
When
everybody
when when
got
it when it
nothing but
comes to
hypotheticals right now.
yeah, when it comes to later in the season, people gonna want to get up here and talk because they gonna want to talk their trash.
Right, right.
But
So
yeah, I just want
I
to put it out there, man. That's just something we're doing this year. Just some more creative fundraising and like I said, man. Same thing with about the sponsors, man. These local businesses, business owners that watch the show that want to sponsor the show. Please get in touch with us. But and man, Magic trying to Magic was trying to get in. I don't know if we can get him in, but hopefully we'll get that worked out in the future, man. Because I know people miss listen to the Magic man talk his stuff.
Magic Man be bringing a lot of comic relief too.
Oh yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm saying I
But
see
look,
Shad Williams.
help me understand where does he stand right now though? Because he grew up a Raider, children are Raiders, and he's been over there
Yeah, he
on the
coached. He
red
coached in
side.
Union. He coached in
I'm
Union. So I
trying to
don't know.
understand the
I
dynamic,
don't.
man.
I
Like,
don't know
there's a reason
if
how
we.
I got over here from the Raiders. You know what I mean? My children go over here. So there's a reason why I landed over there. I want to know, how did Magic land over there?
Well, we got to get Magic on the show. We got to get him. We got Magic. You got to get that restream working, big dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
gotta
yeah,
talk
he.
this out, buddy.
I
We gotta
I
talk
don't
this
know
out,
if
dog.
I could. I don't know if we could call him the Midway Magic Man anymore because man,
He
technically
been-
man, he's a Spartan now. So
last few times I seen him, he was on that sideline
yeah,
barking hard.
decked out in red.
They got him deep red, dog, in a deep red state. They got that boy deep red. I saw him at the
Oh,
middle school game, bro, when Happy Middle played Union Middle. And I saw him over there with the ponytail. I said, ain't no way that's Magic.
oh yeah,
What
man.
he doing over there? Well, I had to squint and double take. I was like, what's Magic doing over here?
Hey man.
Oh,
Yeah, he out there.
okay.
Hey, like I said, man, Coach. Shout out to Coach. We already said it before, but man, shout out to Coach Mark Oates, man. He's built a hell of a staff out there at Union, man. That's why you're gonna really start seeing that pay dividends, man. Because when you got a group of guys like that leading those
Yeah.
young men, you're really gonna start to see it pay off, man. And Union got a lot of disrespect, you know. You see it on social media and comments and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And those guys, like I said, those guys are doing the right things. Those kids, they're gonna get better. I mean, they were
And they've been
extremely
keeping
young.
receipts.
Oh yeah, they were extremely young. I mean, you technically had a JV team, basically playing varsity teams last year. I mean, if when like Coach O said, when they would take out their older guys and put the younger guys in, and the match and it looked a lot different. So, like I said, and those kids continue to grow. Like I said, just got to keep them together as they continue to grow as sophomores, juniors. Like I said, you're gonna start seeing it this year, and then I believe next year is when you're going to really see the big jump with them. So, I mean, stay tuned, man. Shout out, like I said, shout out to that entire Union Spartan coaching staff and the community and all those kids, man. Like I said, they had some tough times,
Mm.
athletic wise, man. But I'm really happy to see that they really built that program back up build it back up from scratch. And that's not something that's easy to do.
That's fast. Now, one thing Coach O's told me back in track season, he said honeymoon stage is over. When he was coming back in, he was like, you don't want to work them too hard because then you pushing them away. You don't want to
Hmm.
scare them off and all stuff. But now he knows who's his guys. Now he knows who's the ones that really want to work. So he said, the honeymoon stage is over. Now it's time to really get to work. We're going to start doing that same work that he was doing out there in Florida. And the kids are bought in. I mean, I talked to Tobias recently. I talked to Manny recently. Them kids is bought in, and they want to see a different change of results. They're not comfortable with losing. Because I tell you one thing, anybody that's comfortable with losing, I'll show you a loser. Them kids hate losing. And I think that mindset right there, they're not just happy to have a jersey and a helmet. They want to be winners. They want to change. So this ain't me giving no endorsement for Union or nothing, but I just seen a change in the mentality from the outside looking in, just talking to a few of the players, and then from what I heard Coach O said back in spring to what I'm hearing now, yeah, they're on the right trajectory, man. And that's
They
good
are.
for the whole conference because it makes it
Oh
more
yeah.
competitive. That's good for everybody because competition is good for everybody. You don't never want one of those games where you circular be like, okay, I can put my second string in this whole game, and then you get complacent, like we mentioned earlier, and then you sit
Hmm.
back and you get this false sense of security, like you did something. Like competition, iron sharpens iron,
Oh yes, sir.
and they are definitely becoming a sharper piece of iron in this conference.
Hey, look, I like how you threw that disclaimer in there. With like, look, I ain't going for Union now. You got to make sure you don't upset your hopping folks too.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I put the edge on. I put the
I
edge
know,
just
especially
so
when
people
that when
know
that
where I
when that H
stand.
on your chest, man. You can't. Well, I don't want to speak too much on them, but yeah, no, but no, God, what all you said though, that's 100% correct though, man. It's better, like I said, just football in Santa County. Period. It's gonna be better with Union, being competitive, man. And Santa County, get slept on a lot when it comes
A
to
lot.
football as a whole, man. But um, man, just from covering these different schools, man, and kind of taking a really closer look, the amount of talent that we have here in the county alone, man, it's ridiculous, man. We got a lot of diamonds in the rough out here, man. So, man, if
Big time.
you a college scout and you just happen to come across this, man, take that trip to Sampson County, man. We got some kids out there that really deserve a look, and it's gonna be fun to watch, man. I ain't want to ignore y'all too much, man, but y'all got a big time week one game, like we talked about. We talked about y'all rivalry earlier, man. That Midway Hopton, that's gonna be a good one. That was actually last year. That was our first Bucksley Sports game of the week last year. But that's always a fun matchup to watch. And y'all recently had some coaching changes as well, and that's like I said, y'all got some talent returning. So I'm gonna definitely
Do
keep
we
my
want?
own.
We're not gonna talk about that tonight, on
Oh yeah, we ain't gonna talk. We gonna dive deep in it tonight, but
Okay, okay, okay.
for those that don't know, there's gonna be some changes as far as Hopkins goes because Hopkins, the past 5 or 6 years, always been this air raid thrown around the yard team, but a different change now. They got Coach Adam Scraunt, so hopefully I said his last
Yeah,
name correctly.
you
Coming
response.
over. He was the offensive coordinator for Wallace Rose Hill for a number of years. So he's bringing that wing T, that patented wing T attack to Newton Grove. So that's gonna be interesting to watch and just based off some of the
I mean,
comments and
hey,
the
that's how they
energy.
won their last championship was with the
Yeah.
wing T back in
Oh yeah.
1990, whatever.
Hey, look, man. People sleep on the running offenses, man. They make it sound like you gotta be spread, gotta be this, gotta be that. But I mean, teams like Tarboro, shove that down their throat every year. Tarboro
Kendall.
T formation, full house, running right at you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And want you to
So
do something about it.
yeah,
Dare you
you
to do
you
something
you
about
know what they gonna do. You know what they gonna do. But guess what?
it.
You gotta stop it. That's why schools like Tarboro and East Dublin, they be laughing at the 707 talk. They like, yeah, y'all beat us to 707. Okay, well, we'll see what happened with them pads and we throw them offensive linemen in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
And then don't throw not one pass.
No, not a single pass. But
Don't throw not one pass.
real quick, let me see here. Didn't mean to omit any comments, but yeah, Mr. Brick Gill said you had a lot of heart. Definitely respect them. Yes, sir. Uh, Charles Wynn said that's a great week one matchup. Yes, sir. Definitely
Mm,
agree. Maurice Huey said Dillon versus Scotland week one. That'll be a good one.
mm.
Shad Williams said Richmond versus Hoggard week one. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of good. It's gonna be a
There's a
lot of good
lot.
games,
There's
man.
a lot of good
So
ones, bro.
we got to talk about in a couple of weeks, but like you said, man, next week, and it's coming up quick, man. We're gonna have some scrimmages next week, so we'll be talking about some scrimmages next week. and just building more up to week one. If you like my rankings, uh, coming up next, man, I'm gonna do the conferences over the next week. So be looking for that on the Facebook page. I'll be posting my actual individual conference predictions. You know, the East Central, the newly named Swine Valley Conference. You know, with James Keenan and Wallace Rose Hill and all those
Yeah.
schools. So I'll be posting those for the next couple of days, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit next week. But man, Anthony, before we close out, man, you got anything else you want to talk about? Any final comments?
Um, let's say this, just cause I got this HO, man. I think a lot of kids know Coach Goodman in this conference. Um, I'm gonna let Trick Daddy. I love the kids. I love kids from all different schools. I support kids from North Dukeland. I support kids from Lakewood. Support kids from Union. Midway is home. This is where I went to school. Um, I support a lot of kids everywhere. And then we got Coach Simmons out there by my alma mater up there in Vance. I
Oh yeah, Vance
graduated from
County.
Northern Vance. Northern Vance and Southern Vance have collided and stuff, and now he's in charge of that program. So I got a lot of love for him taking on that role up there because that's where my dad is from. That's where I graduated from up there in Henderson. So big shout outs to Coach Simmons as well. But I don't want nobody to ever feel me on this platform that I am biased to this H or to the M. You know, I speak 100% authentically. I work for the Section Independent. I'm a writer, and I don't do no editorial pieces at all. I just present the facts that are given to me. Now, when there's something that's heartfelt, about the community, and we're trying to raise attention to somebody or give somebody their flowers, and yes, I might take some liberties and praise them a little bit, but I never degrade nobody. Um, so if I ever give a criticism, I don't want nobody to take that as hate. I don't want nobody to say, "Oh, he just speaking sour" or anything like that. Like I'm only 100% authentic. I don't have no animus towards nobody in the region, nobody in the conference, or nothing like that. I'll be giving 100% an authentic opinion with no bias. And I just want our listeners to know that and believe that. And then one last thing is big shout out to my dad. He had his 55th birthday out
Oh
there in
yeah,
Riverside,
happy
California.
birthday.
If he's watching, happy birthday, Pop. I love you. Big five
Yes sir,
five.
yes sir, man. Hey, once again, man. Before closing out, appreciate everyone listening in. Um, Sorry we couldn't get Magic up here, man. We gonna work on that. Magic just said he said y'all better talk about the Raiders, but yeah, we're gonna try to work on getting. Hope we get them up here next week. But once again, man, I want to thank everyone for listening in. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms. Like the content, share this video. Because I mean, it's for we're in the nitty gritty now, man. Football season is gonna be a lot to talk about, and definitely looking forward to it. But just once again, man, just appreciate all the support. I know, like I said, we haven't been doing the weekly shows throughout the summer like I wanted to, but hey, man, we back now. We gonna make it work, and yeah, just looking forward to it, man. A lot of football to cover, and it's gonna be fun, man. Looking forward to it, but just closing off, man, and signing off from Mr. Anthony Goodman. Thank him for joining us tonight. Shout out to Magic, couldn't join us. Shout out to Coach Dre out there in Hope County, man. He couldn't join us. Like I said, them gentlemen got practice, man, so totally understandable. But we're gonna work it out. Once again, thank everyone for listening in. Signing off, Chris Harris, Buck Street Sports Podcast. Y'all have a great night.